On this episode of Best Fan TV, we talk to rapper Young Jeezy. He tells us how he's continued to persist in the music industry, about getting his rap hustle on, and how he entices women with his seductive voice. What's up, guys? You're watching BestFan.com. I'm here with Young Jeezy. How you doing?
Yo, what's good, baby?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I was doing a lot of research on you last night, watching a lot of different interviews, and one thing that struck me that I really liked is you said life is a stepping stone, but you better be careful that you don't trip because no one's necessarily going to be there to pick you up again at the end.
Sure.
So I want to know, in your life, how have you avoided falling over?
I guess a lot of wisdom, you know what I mean? Just a lot of things that I experienced, you know, as adolescence, as a youngster, just being around a lot of older cats and seeing the mistakes that they made that cost them their lives. You know, I find myself, you know, hearing little voices in the back of my head like, you know, if you do that, you know what I mean? You know it can cost you this. And, you know, I just think that's what I go by is just, you know, the fact that I don't want to be a statistic.
No.
So I don't want to be a dude that once was. I want to always be. That makes sense? That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, when was it that you actually thought, I can stop hustling, and I'm actually really good at this music game, and I can hustle music now?
It was something, you know, I always knew the streets. Like, I know that, like, right now to this day, you can drop me off, I'm going to be good. Okay, you drop me off in T.O., I'm going to fuck T.O. up. I'm telling you right now. You know what I'm saying?
You take you right, you protect me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm going to get money out here is what I'm saying. And once I was going to the club and people would be like, yo, Jeezy, and I'd be like, huh? Because I was hanging with, you know, my homies, and it was like we was riding the fly cars and doing all the things, but it was like, I'd be walking through the club and somebody be like, yo, I heard your song, and I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice whether to pursue something that I really believed in, that I could really do, or, you know, to stay, you know, where I was and end up being a statistic. And I think I made the right choice. I made a choice, yeah. Yeah.
Now, your new album that's just come out, how can people relate to this?
I mean, you know, it depends. I mean, you know, if you're a female, you might relate to I Do, All We Do, Leave You Alone. I mean, if you're a hustler, you can relate to Nothing, you know, Way Too Gone. This one's for you. It's timeless, you know what I mean? I feel like even after the first listen, you know, the TN103, something you can ride to, of course, but 5 years down from the line, from now, you'll still be able to ride to that album, and you will feel the same.
And you also have a movie that's narrated by Samuel L. Jackson, which is like epic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Shouts out to Samuel. I basically wanted to do something about my life. You know, I felt like, you know, it was a big mystique about me as far as, you know, just who I was, what I came from, and the things that I've been through. I understand with this industry, a lot of cats do, you know, fabricate and say things that, you know, that ain't really them. And I get it, it's rap, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like when I came in the game, it was so many things that I didn't tell people because I couldn't. It was going against the G code. Like, you don't get on TV and say, yeah, you know, I was whoop, yeah, you know, it don't work. So it was like, you know, it was my time to speak. And by the way, a lot of late greats don't get a chance to be a part of their documentaries or their biographies because they're gone. Yeah, so I was here, so I wanted to make sure I was a part of mine.
You got the story straight.
I wanted to be in the editing and everything. Like, y'all, now take that out. We're gonna get ourselves in trouble if you put that in there.
And last question. Now, you have a very unique voice,
yeah,
and the ladies love it.
What?
They love it. So I was wondering if you're trying to like seduce a woman and like you want to whisper something in her ear, you know, what would you like? How would you say it? And what would you say?
Be like, you pretty fun. See what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. See how they see it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Best Fan. If people want to check you out, where can they go?
You can hit me on Twitter at Young Jeezy. You know, holler at me, I holler back. Check me out on USDAtoday.com. If you can't find me there, make sure you check my clothing line, 8732. You know what I'm saying? The #1 urban clothing line in America right there. And other than that, you know, holler at me in the streets, I holler back. It's the world.
And for more exclusive interviews with your favorite artists, check out www.bestfan.com. Here with Young Jeezy, I'm Rachel David.
Already.